मैडम अनुपम दस्ता है तो सेल का आ गया यार। अपना दिवाली पे क्या? अपना दिवाली, अपना निर्मल बंग का। हाँ, ये अपना दिवाली पिक था।
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So today, today we yesterday we saw more of a flattish day or range bound trade in the US. After last week, up move of almost very sharp up move in the last week. The market is stabilizing now and likely to remain so in the coming period until and unless it take directions either way. Similar situation is also seen in the Asian market. Only different was that oil has come off very sharply. Oil has come down by almost around $3 from yesterday same time yesterday prices. The decline is mainly on account of a drop in the US gasoline consumption expectations that has come off and that has resulted into decline in the oil prices. Apart from that, even the demand from the China is also dimming, and that is also putting some pressure on the oil prices. Apart from that, other commodities are more of a flattish. So this is what the setup is for Indian market from the international level, and are giving indications that market in India is also likely to remain more of a in a range in today's trade. And I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Thank you, sir. Very good morning, all of you. As you have seen, yesterday's market was more of a flattish move. It was more of a range-bound move, and in the second half, we have seen Nifty has closed at around the higher point. The important thing we have to note here is Nifty has closed above its 20-day moving average of 19,500. The immediate resistance for today as we are expecting a positive opening in Nifty, taking the cues from the global market, the immediate resistance, which we feel is going to be its 100-day moving average, which is placed around 19,470, followed by its 50-day moving average around 19,550. Once it closes above 19,550, we can see a strong rally up to 19,640, 700 levels also. Whereas we have to check if Nifty is taking the support on the lower levels, then the support point would be 19,330, followed by 19,250. Moving on to Bank Nifty, Bank Nifty has shown a similar move as compared to Nifty. Bank Nifty has closed higher by taking a strong support of its 20-day moving average, and it has closed around 43,980. The immediate resistance for Bank Nifty is currently placed around 44,200, followed by 44,500. The support for today at Bank Nifty is currently its 20-day moving average. It's around 40,700, 740, followed by 43,550. Moving on to Nifty Financial Services, it has closed around 19,640. The immediate resistance for this index is placed at 19,720, followed by 19,800. Whereas the support is placed in 19,550 and 19,480. If we talk about stocks, PNB is looking good at current levels. It was consolidating from a long time, and now we feel it has started to rally. So we have already recommended a buy call on PNB. PNB can be bought for a target of 82 by keeping a stop loss of 73.50. The second stock which we are liking is Tata Chemicals. Tata Chemicals is looking good at current levels for a target of 1005 by keeping a strict stop loss of 954. So that's all from my side. I request derivatives team to take the call forward.
Yeah, thank you, Ayush. On the derivative front, yeah, nothing much of a change. Only thing is 19,500 has the highest call base, and that will become a resistance area, as I've said yesterday as well. For Nifty, to move up again and aggressively at that, 19,500 should be broken, and there will be a couple of days when Nifty will, remain around this 19,500 odd levels. But once a closing about 19,500 is got, you will see further buying coming in, and Nifty would try to take down the 19,800 to 20,000 levels going forward. So we continue to expect bullishness, but probably 1 2 days of range bound trade will happen. From the stock specific front, even yesterday I had mentioned the same. HPBP, IOC continue to witness good buying. Even ONGC and Reliance, we expect some good momentum to go forward. No doubt the crude has gone down quite significantly, and so in the morning ONGC might be a little flat to negative, but it should pick up pace and should again witness buying going forward again. But yes, IOC, HPBP will become aggressive from the morning itself. There are a lot of shorts covered in the system for these stocks, and they are now likely to, go up quite significantly. So do not miss this. Continue to buy these stocks. They will give good returns going forward. Yeah. So that's it from my side. Like to ask the fundamental team to take over, please.
Good morning. Kirloskar Brothers result has declined. Revenue was flat sequentially, and year on year it has grown just 6%. EBITDA margin was at 10% versus June quarter's 12% and last year 7%. So QOQ it has dipped, and similarly profit has also come at 50 crores versus June quarter's profit of 59 crores. Last year it was 31 crores. So we are neutral on Kirloskar Brother from near-term point of view. IdeaForce Technology, the recent IPO which is into drones, result has declined. Revenue declined by 40% year on year. Company posted a loss at EBITDA level of 8 crores versus last year EBITDA profit of 7 crores. So this is a disappointing result from IdeaForge. There were high expectations at the time of its IPO, but that has not played out. Skipper Limited result has improved. Revenue grew 39% sequentially, 67% year on year. EBITDA margin came at 9.5% versus June quarter's 11% and last year's 8.6%. So even though EBITDA margin has declined about 150 basis points on a sequential basis, because of the strong revenue growth, profit is still higher than June quarter. Profit came at 20 crores versus June quarter profit of 16 crores. last year profit was at just 3 crores. So we've seen a strong momentum in Skipper Limited, even in terms of order book, it is continuously increasing. So there can be positive reaction in the stock going forward. Life insurance numbers for the month of October have come out. If we account for LIC and all private together, the total life insurance industry grew by just 6% year on year. But if we just look at the private players, private players combined have grown at 21% year on year in terms of APE. Max Life has stood out with a growth of 39% in total APE. Since last 3 months, in fact, Max has been outperforming the industry by a big margin. So expect the stock to outperform other life insurance companies. Others have broadly grown in line with industry, like SBI 21% growth, ICICI Prudential 20%, HDFC Life 19%. However, LIC has has declined by 11%. So if someone is still holding LIC post IPO, then one should exit within LIC. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Good morning. Dollar Industries has posted improved set of numbers for the quarter, with revenue growing by 25% QOQ and coming in at 412 crore. Even EBITDA margin has improved to 10.1% versus QOQ of 8.3%. PAT came in at 25 crore versus QOQ of 15 crores. Stock is trading at 52 times TTM EPS. Thank you.
Good morning. Apollo Tyres result is marginally above expectation as revenue came at rupees 6,280 crores, which grew by 0.6% on QQ basis and 5.4% on YY basis. The segment-wise, the highest revenue was clocked in Asia Pacific, Middle East and Africa market at 4,473 crores, which was followed by 1,819 crores in Europe market. EBITDA came at 1,159.8 crores versus expectation of 1,060 crores, which again grew by 10.3% on sequential basis. EBITDA margin came at 18.5% from 16.8% on QOQ and 12% on YOY basis. At present, the stock is trading at PE of 14.6 times of FY24 EPS. Cummins India result was above expectation as revenue came at 1,899 crores, which degrew by 14% on QOQ basis and degrew by 2.6% on YOY basis. Income from operation marginally dipped by 1.8% due to weaker demand for its newly launched and more expensive power generator sets made to meet the revised emission guidelines. EBITDA margin came at 17.8% versus expectation of 15.1%. And its total expenses also fell by 5.1% on the basis of lower cost of raw materials such as aluminium and steel. At present, the stock is trading at PE of 37.3 times of FY24 EPS. Uno Minda result is marginally above expectation as revenue came at 3,621 crores, which grew by 17.1% on QQ basis and 25.9% on YOY. EBITDA came at 402 crores versus expectation of 384 crores, and EBITDA margin came at 11.1% versus 10.7% QOQ and 11.1% on YOY basis. It recorded highest ever quarterly production in four-wheeler as well as two-wheeler alloy wheel, and it is expected to set up a new greenfield plant with capacity of 120,000 wheels per month, and the project is expected to execute over 5 years in 3 phases. At present, the stock is trading at PE of 40.1 times of FY24 EPS. VST Taylor's Tractor Limited result has improved as revenue came at 278 crores, which grew by 13.2% on sequential basis and 18.9% on YOY basis. EBITDA came at 43.1% versus 31.7 crores on QOQ basis and 32.2 crores on YOY basis. EBITDA margin stand at 15.5%. This time Power Weeder and Reaper saw a major volume boost with 57% and 52% respective growth on YOY basis, followed by 22% growth in Power Tiller. On contrary, Tractor degrew by 14% on YOY basis, and at present the stock is trading at P of 27.2 times of FY24 EPS. Hero MotoCorp, the country's top two-wheeler manufacturer, is partnering with UK, Spain, and France for mid-24 market entry, starting with VIDA V1 electric scooter and expanding to premium ICE motorcycle and scooters. This is positive for company. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from this, few more results. Devyani International reported numbers, and the numbers were weak and below expectation. We had seen that earlier. Sapphire, which is more of a similar type of business, has also reported weaker number. The KFC portfolio had seen lower growth because of the more of a veggie day in this quarter. And also Pizza Hut is facing a lot of constraint on competitions, and the SSG has declined in Pizza Hut, whereas the SSG was positive 2% for Costa Coffee for KFC. Costa Coffee continue its high growth trajectory. So all these three brands, which is licensed by Devyani, had some weakness in this quarter. But going forward in next quarter, KFC can see a good revival, whereas Pizza Hut can continue to struggle as the competition intensity is very high in pizza market. Overall outlook for the company is more of a neutral in near term. Long term perspective can continue to grow because of the market potentials for the growth is very high, whereas near term outlook is neutral. The stock is trading somewhere at around 25 time FI 25 EV by EBITDA. Then Sangvi Mover came up with the numbers, and the numbers were in line or marginally ahead of our expectations. The revenue came in at 140 crores versus our expectation of 137 crore. Here, one should note that being the rainy season in this quarter, the revenue declined quarter on quarter, and this is the lowest quarter in all 4 quarters. So as compared to last quarter, the revenue was 146 crore. The revenue came down to 140 crores, and the similar thing got impact on the margin also. But the EBITDA came in at 86 crores versus expectation of 80 crores. So overall results was above expectations. The valuations are somewhere at around 22 times TTM EPS or around the 18 times FY25 EPS. So that looks a bit positive for Sangvi Movers from here. Order book for the Sangvi Mover has moved up by almost around 30% year on year. Then Trent has reported very strong numbers in this quarter and above expectations, mainly driven by Zudio, which is the new format of retail stores which they are expanding aggressively apart from West Side. Revenue grew by almost around 59% year on year. If we see the other retailer, they are struggling to grow, but here the growth is very strong. And EBITDA margin also had seen improvement and came in at 15.9% versus expectation of 12.8% and last year 14.8%. So very strong number, but pricing in valuations are also very high at around 112 times FY24 EPS. Then yesterday, Inox Wind has announced that they will be getting around 500 crores from their parent company, that is Inox Wind Energy. And this is 0.01% non-convertible, non-cumulative preferential shares. So there will not be any interest liability or dividend liability, great dividend liability on the company, and this 500 crore will be used to repay the debts. And the repayment terms of these 500 crore preference shares will be 5 year, and there will not be any premium on that. So if you recollect, few days back, Inox Wind Energy has sold holding in Inox Wind, and that money which they generated are now they are transferring it into Inox Wind to make the company debt free. So this is positive for Inox Wind. Then another company, Yatharth Hospital, has reported good numbers. The revenue grew by around 34% year on year, substantial considering the hospital business, and EBITDA margin also saw more of a stable margins at around 26.6%. The stock is trading at around 18 time EV by EBITDA FY25 earnings. So outlook is positive for Yatharth Hospital. Another company which came up with very strong number yesterday was Newland Lab. This is in CDMO place, that is contract research and manufacturing, and it's a pure maximum revenue come from the CDMO businesses. And in last few quarters, it has shown very strong growth, and this quarter also the growth was very strong. Q1Q revenue grew by 15% and year on year by 42%, and EBITDA margin has also expanded to around 33% versus last quarter 26%. The growth is coming on account of a few of the drug are moving from research level to commercial level. So one of the drug has moved to commercial level, and which is generating a lot of revenues. And these drugs are going to stay. It's not like one-time activity. These are going to stay, and the pipeline of the drugs which are likely to move to commercial level are very high. So that also give prospects for the long term. If we just consider Q1, this Q2 earning, the share is trading at around 17 time PE, which give enough scope for Newland Lab to move up from here. So outlook for the Newland Lab is quite positive from here. So that's all from us. Now I'll request commodity team to take up from here.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. So in today's session, gold prices are expected to pull back till 60,700 to 750 levels. Prices had tested 60,200 support on downside, so a pullback is expected. So one can buy around 60,350 and maintain a stop loss of 60,150. Silver also, if prices are sustaining um, uh, 70,500, then for a pullback one can buy, and we are eyeing for 71 100 to 200, whereby profit taking can be witnessed, and again there could be some selling pressure from these levels. So strictly buy with the stop loss of 70,500 for the pullback. Crude oil prices are continuously drifting down. Prices are expected to test 6430, 6400 on downside. If 6400 is holding on, then we can see a pullback till 6520 to 6550. So if it is sustaining above 64, then only once again initiate a buy or maintain a stop loss of 6400. Natural gas prices are expected to pull back till 270, 275. So buying around 262 is recommended with a stop loss of 255. Copper prices are likely to test to 715 on upside. So buying around 710 is recommended with a stop loss of 706. Zinc prices are also edging higher and is expected to test 230 on upside. So buying around 226.50 is recommended with a stop loss of 225. Also, aluminum is looking good. One can initiate a buy around 208 levels and maintain a stop loss of 207. On upside again, 211 is expected. So that's it from me. I'll ask Utkarsh to take the call forward.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Very good morning, all of you. For today's session in USD we are expecting some sideways momentum in the range of 83.33 on the higher end and on the lower side 83.23 levels. So prices comes around 83.30 to 83.32 levels. So one can initiate a short positions with a small stop loss of 83.35 levels for the target of 83.23 levels. And on the lower end, one can initiate also long positions around 83.23 levels with a stop loss of 83.15 levels for the target of 83.28 levels. If prices break the level of 83.15 levels, then we are expecting some downside momentum for the target of 83.03 levels. In JPY INR, one can initiate a long positions. The price is sustaining above 55.66 levels. One can initiate a long positions with a stop loss of 55.48 levels for the target of 55.80 and 55.95 levels. In Euro INR, one can initiate a long positions above 89.27 levels with a stop loss of 88.98 levels for the target of 89.56 levels. Thank you.